Hey people, my name's James. A lot of y'all know me by Woo Woo 20 on the internet. Stop by Roadstar Clinic. People's the best there. Right now we're working on some of my parts from my Roadstar. I hope to show this bike in May in Ohio at the big rally. Hope y'all come. But what we're working on today is a lot of people ask a lot of questions on the Roadstar Clinic about painting and stuff. So just real quick, I'm going to run through something on wet sanding. Ain't no big deal. Couple things that I like to use when I first sand my primer to get it down just a little quicker. I use 320. Then I go back behind it with 500. 320 is too rough to paint over, so go back over it at least with 400. But try not to totally sand the whole piece down with the 320. Try to hit more of your flat areas. Usually what I'll do is, like on this piece, I'll hit all the top, then the sides, front, then I'll switch to 500 and hit back over the top, back over the sides, back over the front, and then I'll hit the rolled surfaces. My rolled surfaces, my edges, stuff such as that, but make sure you get the whole panel nice, again with 500, because 320 is just simply too rough. What we started with is, once you prime your part, go over it with some guide coat. If you'll notice, you'll just see some kind of rough black spray paint shot over this. If you can, run to a local paint jobber or to maybe Napa and see if they have an actual can of spray paint called guide coat. Reason being, if you spray over this with like some just old spray can enamel or something like that, it's hard as hell to sand it off. And also it screws your paper up. It'll gum up in your paper and then your paper's wasted. Something else real quick on paper. 3M, buy the stuff. Don't buy the generic papers, they suck. This piece of paper is 320. A piece of 320 in like Bulldog or Densa or something like that, the aftermarket brands, is actually equivalent to about 220. So don't use that stuff. Spend a couple dollars and get the good stuff. You know, you can use some of that cheaper paper for your mud work, not this. Something on mud work, I finish all my mud work with at least 180. That way my hope is to prime it one time, be done with it, sand it, and I'm good. If you try to go over 80, you may have to prime it twice. Waste of materials, waste of time. Try to finish it with 180, prime it one time, sand it, be done with it. 3 to 4 coats. I used 5-star urethane primer on these parts. Really anymore, it's not that big a deal. I mean, if you can pay the big money for the name brand products, DuPont, PPG, such as that, go ahead and do it. If you're like me and you're working in your garage, I mean, I'm a body man by trade. I use the good stuff at work here. You know, this is out of my pocket. This is a fine product. It's a 2-stage urethane. It's not lacquer or enamel, so it works just great. Sanding tools. I go anywhere from this huge block, which was made out of a piece of styrofoam, to this thin sponge. This is what I do my final sanding with the 500 that we talked about. My 320, right now, I'm using this short hard block. It's made by Durablock. You can buy these about anywhere, Napa, somewhere like that. They work real good. Little trick, if you'll fold your paper long ways in half, right across here, fold it in the middle a couple times and then tear it, you'll have a size like this, and it fits about any block made perfect, as you can see here. And then it's just a quick little fold and a fold, and you're good to go. I've got some warm water in this bucket because I'm in West Virginia, and as any of y'all's watched the weather, we have snow up to our asses around here. This bottle is another bottle of water. It's just cold, clean water. I'm dipping my paper in this water, sanding, spraying it off with this, and wiping it off with a blue towel. At the end of the day, this part's sanded, this part's not. This part needs to look like this one. Sand it. Try to get your strokes to go a long ways on the panel. Try to have your hand at least turn a little bit sideways. With the hard blocks, it's not that big a deal, but I think anybody with any common sense knows that this would be a better way to cut this panel than like this. You could put lines in it. Sometimes you have to do that, but try not to. But we're gonna sand this piece down and see how it turns out. I've got a bunch of parts I have to sand. Bags, fenders. As y'all know, if anybody's watched my online things, I have custom fenders for this bike. Gas tank, fairing, oil covers, all those things have to be sanded. But right now I just want to show you sanding this so you get an idea how to do it. It's not rocket science, and don't be scared of it. Me, I turn down some jams, get in the groove, sing a little bit, shake a little bit. Right now I'm listening to some Colt Ford. We're going to turn it up, get our groove on, and start sanding some parts.
Two shot glasses and a bottle of tequila with nothing but time on my head. I got my boots on tight and some money for the jukebox, and tell me if you could dance.
I said, hey, good looking what's on your mind? Is it something that I can help you find? She said, I'm looking for a man for me and my kids. I said, honey, he ain't here, but a good time is. Just smiled and asked me if I could show her one. Take my hand, darling, let's start the fun. I asked her her name and she asked me mine. I said, honey, they call me
Mr. Good Time. I got two shot glasses and a bottle of tequila with nothing but time on my head. I got my boots on tight and some money for the jukebox, so tell me if you're ready to dance. I got a four-wheel drive on right outside with the feel when it comes to speed. So if you're looking for a good time, baby, get with it, take my hand, just come with me.
Well, Lord, have mercy, look, we just walked in. It was a tall redhead with a brunette friend. I said, hey there, ladies, y'all ain't from around here. They said we just passing through, won't you buy some beer? I said, yes, ma'am, I will, I'll even buy y'all a shot. They said we wanna get wild, is this the right spot? I said, ladies, you're in luck, everything will be fine. By the way, the girls call me Mr. Good Time.
I got two shot glasses and a bottle of tequila with nothing but time on my head. I got my boots on tight and some money for the jukebox, so tell me if you're ready to dance. I got a four-wheel drive on right outside in the field when it comes to speed. So if you're looking for a good time, baby, get with it, take my hand, just come with me.
When I hear the last call, I know it's time to ride. And I can fit half a dozen with my four-wheel drive. So if you wanna see why I got them standing in line, then come on and take a ride. It's the good time.
I got two shot glasses and a bottle of tequila with nothing but time on my head. I got my boots on tight and some money for a jukebox, so tell me if you're ready to dance. I got a four-wheel drive on right outside with no feel when it comes to speed. So if you're looking for a good
I got a little
time,
sponge in
baby,
here.
get with it, take my hand,
I'll
just
show the
come
bare
with
hand on
me.
myself over the paper. This next jam coming up good as hell. Y'all jump on along with me. Remember, make it fun. It goes by a lot easier. This kind of work's torture if you ain't having no fun. Shit, I'm all about having some fun. Might embarrass myself. That's all right.